Standing on the edge of the crater, like the prophets once said, and the ashes are all cold now, no more bullets, and the embers are dead. Whispers in the air tell the tales of the brothers gone. Desolation, devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. Watching from the edge of the circus for the games to begin. Gladiators draw their swords, form their ranks for Armageddon. I'm nuclear, I'm wild, I'm breaking up inside. A heart of broken glass, deep inside the abandoned child. Standing on the edge of the underworld, looking at the abyss, and I'm hoping for some miracle to break out, to escape from all this. Whispers in the air tell the tale of a life that's gone. Desolation, devastation. What a mess we made when it all went wrong. I'm nuclear, I'm wild, I'm breaking up inside. A heart of broken glass, deep inside the abandoned child.
We're not burying them at sea. What then?
We'll make diamonds from their ashes. Take them into battle with us.
A shining light to our brothers in arms, even in death.
We are diamond dogs. Scatter your sorrow to the heartless sea. I will always be with you.
I think there's something wrong with my copy of Death Stranding. Other than I don't have it because Amazon sucks. Or that we're gonna figure out something else to do here. When we're gonna have some fun, as you can tell by the intro of playing the Metal Gear Solid 5 trailers, we're gonna play some of that tonight. We're gonna have some fun with that. By we, I mean I'm gonna do some stupid stuff because I'm not that great at some parts of the stealth. We're gonna do some Ground Zeroes, which is the first level that Konami actually had to break off and sell on its own because they were losing so much money waiting for Kojima to get off his butt and release the game. And then actually the game proper. So we're gonna have a grand old time. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the stream, of course. So let's get Ground Zeroes up and going. Playing the PC version. There we are. Had to do a little clicking around to get it all up and situated right. This is one of those games you can actually run in OBS. Like, you can actually look at the preview window in OBS and play through that, which is what I'm doing. However, just because it takes up slightly less real estate. I have only one computer monitor. I just don't have the room to do two. My computer supports dual setup, dual monitors, but unfortunately I just don't have the space for that where I currently live. Checking save data. I think the backstory is just text in this one. Yeah. This is the PC version. I have it on PlayStation 4, but the PC version I do like. You have just sharper graphics overall. And also another thing too, it's a really neat kind of time capsule to play Ground Zeroes by itself. Although I've heard that there is a complete edition which puts this back into the game proper, because it's literally the first level of the game cut out. So it's like a different graphic, like the graphics engine wasn't toned down yet. It was still cranked up pretty high for what they wanted to do, and I guess they realized for 5 that they wouldn't have all the space to do everything on a single Blu-ray, so they kind of pushed it back a little bit. So this has a different graphics engine, has a different, the physics are different as well, like your bullets move slower through the air to actually get to their target. So it's kind of different experience, and the UI is different as well too, so kind of fun to see how it's kind of like looking at a beta or demo version of the game versus the final version. We'll let the intro play out, but like the final cutscene there where you're on the helicopter, I'll probably be skipping that.
She told us everything.
Where you hid your porn mags, everything.
I kept my word. She didn't suffer long. Here. You earned it.
Oh crap, it's broken. Sorry. I mean, I should have put it down there on the ground and slid it. I'm low on blood sugar, I'm sorry. I get a little cranky.
How's it feel to play the traitor? No more war games. You're a real man now, soldier. Give my regards to your boss when you get home.
Chico's like, hey, this isn't Bruce Springsteen's Born to Run. You taped over it. Pretty cool is that this is actually like about 5 years old. Still holds up really well graphically. Excuse me.
"10 days ago, we got reports that Paz was still alive.
She survived.
She was rescued by Belizean fishermen who found her drifting in the Caribbean.
So what's the plan? Silence her before we're compromised?
No. I've got something else in mind. Our friends at Cypher suspect Paz could be a double agent. She's being held for interrogation at a camp on the southern tip of Cuba.
Black site. Nice. A slice of American pie on communist soil, and out of U.S. legal jurisdiction.
The upcoming inspection of Mother Base has to be connected somehow. The timing's too perfect.
The UN's nuclear inspection.
My guess is they're trying to corroborate Paz's leak.
We're an army without a nation.
Word of our capabilities gets out, and we'll have the whole world out to shut us down. Having an American private intelligence agency involved is bad news. Cypher's the ones who sent Paz to us in the first place.
She knows their true nature.
Right. Paz is our only link to Cypher. If she's still alive, we need her on our side.
Trojan horse is in.
I'm impressed that his hat can stay on like that, and you can hear him underneath those helicopter odors. Blackhawks are loud.
This pirate crackdown's a go. Move!
So who's the other target?
That would be Chico. He's being held in the same area as Paz. Last radio contact was 40 hours ago. Find them both. Bring him back alive. Enter the compound from the south cliff. Secure Chico and Paz, then report back from the rendezvous point. We'll send a chopper from across the Cuban border. You should be back at Mother Base in time for lunch. You'll probably just miss our guests. The only catch is you go in solo. The politically sensitive nature of the mission means backup is not an option.
Fine. I like some alone time now and then. I'm in front of the prison camp.
Excellent, Snake. Age hasn't slowed you down one bit.
Kept you waiting, huh?
Yeah, radio back to base. There's a guy crouching outside the perimeter. Send somebody over, take a look at it.
Chico and Paz are being held in an old, unused part of the compound. Get inside and head northeast.
Mission info has been
This is an
updated.
infiltration mission. You've got to stay out of sight. Before you go any further, use your binoculars to recon the area. If you ready your weapon while crawling, you can move horizontally left or right. If you do that holding the dash button, you'll move faster. We have no more than a dozen guys at Barranquilla. Some of them with barely enough gear to protect themselves. Now here we are.
Yeah, I think I got all the patches last time, so it's not going to give me that one.
But the way I see it, this is still our 0 hour. Once this mission's behind us, I want to pitch you some ideas about expansion. Keep low. You can check the controls on the pause screen. What do you see? Press the call button to get more intel.
Those new guys. You see that chopper?
To climb an obstacle, press the action button. There's a guard up there. If you're going to eliminate him, use a gun.
Hands up. Lie down. Spit it out.
The map has been updated.
Now head east to the old prison area. You can bring up the target's location on your iDroid. You should move the bodies of enemies somewhere out of sight.
contact me if you need advice.
There's this girl I like, and I don't know if she likes me back. What should I do?
A prisoner. You gonna help him? If you want to extract him, carry him to the RV and call in the chopper.
I'm guessing you didn't come here just to save my ass, alright? Whatever you're doing. Inside the engine building. There's the drainage channel.
The map has been updated.
Oh, come on. So that's something that changed in the sequel. Not the sequel. Not what I wanted to do. So it's like, you wouldn't get an alarm triggered until, like, they got out and called for backup. Like, you'd still have time, even if they saw you like that.
CP, this is Zulu 1. Hostile got out of sight. Searching now. Over.
Please select a landing zone.
Understood.
Landing zone
On yourself.
confirmed.
Don't let them flank you. Out.
Roger that chopper request. It's headed your way now.
CP, this is Delta 3. Explosion spotted. Damage unknown. Over. CP, understood.
Anti-air emplacement confirmed destroyed. You'll have an easier time calling in the chopper to your position now.
Also, helicopter takes like forever to show up.
This is Morpho, arriving shortly at LZ. This is Morpho, on station at LZ.
CP, this is Zulu 10. We've arrived on the scene. Checking the area. Over. CP, understood. Don't let your guard down. Out.
Okay, target is in.
Yeah, I don't know I'm here yet. Well, I know somebody's here, I mean, causing havoc, but... You also have, like, extreme bullet drop in this version of the game, too. So it always made me wonder, like, what the combined version altogether was like. I am the angel of death.
CP, this is Zulu 7. Gunfire. No fix on the position. Over. This is CP. Understood. Locate threat immediately and eliminate as necessary. Out. CP, this is Zulu 10. We've got unidentified gunfire. Location unknown. Over. This is CP. Understood. Locate threat immediately and eliminate as necessary. Out.
Ah, crap, I pulled it. It doesn't mark that guy. Winged him. He'll be back up. I love the music, though. I mean, this did not carry over to MGS5. Yes, yes, I know these are still one game technically, but it's just because they were so different points of time in the development. This was like 1 year before the game was quote-unquote push out the door. This is when like Kojima started having official problems with Konami. Things hadn't escalated as bad as it did 6 months before launch, when he went back to the heads and said, hey, I need like another $7 million to redo the music because I don't like what I have. And they're like, that's when they said, you have 6 months to get your game out the door. We don't have that type of money. When Konami put out the first level here, Ground Zeroes, split it off from the first of the game, create some little side story missions, some little extra stuff to do to play around with, like little side mission stuff, put those out for sale at a discounted price. They only had around $80 million, which is not much. When Sega went under, they only had like $250 million. That was in Dreamcast era. So they were very real danger of going completely under. So yeah, they had to get this game out. So that's why they split this off. But this is like unfinished ideas, concepts. It's really fascinating to play from a gameplay standpoint. Pardon me, just like a video game person, you know, preservation. As I stand here just like sniping people to death. Like I said, we're going to have some fun with it. Fun with the murder.
CP, this is Zulu 6. Hostile got out of sight. Searching now. Over. This is CP. Understood. They can't have gotten far. Stay alert. Out.
Okay, so I saw...
CP, this is Delta 6. We're under fire. Suppressed weapon. No shots heard. Over. This is CP. Understood. All units on alert. The enemy's hiding somewhere. Find them. Out.
Can't quite tell how far my bullet's dropping. Should be 1 mil from this distance, about 200 meters. There we go. So that's the fun of like actually knowing how to shoot long distance in real life, is that some games you can apply. This game, early versions, like Ground Zeroes, does have severe bullet drop, which is why it's really hard to use the tranquilizer rounds effectively. For the second game, it's just like you don't have to worry about distance. If you have them in your crosshairs, you're going to nail them. And this one, you actually have to use elevation. I was checking, I wasn't sure if wind is a thing here, but distance definitely is for bullet velocity or bullet drop.
Anti-air emplacement confirmed destroyed. You'll have an easier time calling in the chopper to your position now.
CP, this is Delta 9. Some equipment got destroyed.
So I know there's another gun around here I can spot from this hill.
This is CP. Understood. Move to investigate. ASAP. Out.
Ooh, I forgot I have 3-level zoom on this. Oh, baby. There it is. That's the, Alright, that put that out of commission. That's good.
CP, this is Zulu 6. Vehicle's been destroyed. Likely enemy sabotage. Over.
Sabotage.
CP, understood.
Not just for Beastie Boys.
Give us sit rep. Out. CP, this is Delta 2. Vehicle's been destroyed. Likely enemy sabotage. Over. This is CP. Understood. Move to investigate. ASAP. Out.
Anti-air emplacement confirmed destroyed. You'll have an easier time calling in the chopper to your position now.
CP, this is Delta 9. Some equipment got destroyed. Looks like the work of a hostile. Over. This is CP. Understood. Check it out immediately. Give us sit rep. Out.
Okay, so I got, let's see. Hand grenade.
CP, this is Zulu 1. We've arrived at the scene. Checking things out. Over. CP, understood. Keep your eyes open. Out.
NVGs, okay. Oh, no one up there, okay.
CP, this is Delta 9. We're all done here. No sign of any intruder. Returning to post. Over. CP, understood. Head back immediately. Out.
Did I just hear a security camera? There it is.
CP, this is Zulu 4. Search complete. No sign of hostiles. Over. This is CP. Understood. Stay alert. Don't let them get the drop on you. Out.
Okay, that was the first time I ever heard that musical tone.
prison area. The targets are there.
Okay, he's down, but not out.
CP, this is Delta 6. All quiet here. No sign of the enemy. Standing down. This is CP. Understood. All fire teams, return to your posts. Out.
This is the wiener I want. Come here, weenie boy. Now, this is the part that always drives me nuts. So he takes out his flashlight. Now, special operators do carry flashlights with them in certain operations. They are red light because it's harder for you to spot in night situations. It also doesn't screw up your night vision nearly as much. So the odds of him being spotted by flashing like a straight white light would go up exponentially. Whereas if he just flashed a red light, it would have been way less. He would have been much safer. That's like my big nitpick for this game. Among, like, I mean, set in this setting that it is already. That and this chokehold would do nothing. That's literally doing nothing to him. There is a kind of move you can do in Jiu-Jitsu and Judo, which is where you pull the collars of the person's gi across their arteries in their neck, and if you do it slowly enough, they don't quite realize what's going on, and so all of a sudden they just get lightheaded and can pass out. So it's like, that's not it. He would have had to grab it and pull across, you know, kind of like almost a strangulation. These are the things you learn when you watch my stream.
I got Chico.
And pause.
Not here.
Martial arts moves, realistic
Pretty sure.
applications, special forces stuff, which I was not a part of, but I do have friends who have been in special forces. So, yes, by way of them asking him questions throughout the years and different things, they've confirmed yes or no different things of what could be true and not true.
You'll have to carry him out then. Okay, boss, change your plans. Haul Chico over to the rendezvous point. We'll get Posse's whereabouts out of him once he's...
Which is always interesting, because sometimes I get told stories about, like, we were in a country we're not supposed to be, but you can figure it out. Part of me is like, you're smart enough, you know what it is. And it's like, yep, I do.
The map has been updated.
Once you don't end up head first in the ocean.
Please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Roger, dispatching chopper.
Oh my gosh, I didn't hit him at all.
The RV's just a little further.
Okay, I can't throw Chico. Come back here. See, I was trying to toss, like, Chico into him, but it wouldn't do it. It was just, like, standing there, because that's something they added in later in for Phantom Pain. I actually had to sit him down in order to do anything.
Put the target on the chopper.
Put the target in the chopper.
Chico's tape. Think it could give us a clue to Posse's location? Use your iDroid to listen to it.
On your feet.
Okay.
Chico was taken out of his cage. Did he leave the tape recording while he was being moved? Paz might be up ahead. I hear vehicles. And a flag. Must be near the heliport. A gate. CP, this is Delta 6. We spotted someone suspicious. Requesting a unit to check it out. Over. Chico left the tape on record while he was being moved. Try using what you hear to find Paz. If you're still not sure, listen to the tape again. CP, this is Zulu 1. Still no hostiles around here. We're standing down. Over. This is CP. Understood. Stand down. Stand down. Return to your post. Out.
I think that's the driver for this truck. Yeah, he's coming back. That's the one thing, like, if you get people in the patrol, like, it can just take, a while to, for them to come back. If they come back. I've had one time this guy just wandered off and never came back to me. Also, in this early of the game, there's not a way to go completely prone, like completely prone out, like you can in the Phantom Pain. I mean, this is about as low as you can get. You're going to keep your head up no matter what.
The helipad. That matches Chico's tape. The surveillance camera. CP, this is Delta 4. We got a body here. Be on the lookout for intruders. Over. This is CP. Understood. All fire teams check your surroundings. Flush out the intruder. The drainage channel. You might be able to crawl in there.
Hopefully it doesn't flood. I mean, this is amazing for a drainage channel to be this dry. I don't think it's draining things very well. Hi, Keiko. You want out, kitty? There you go. Can't want it out of the room. 1 second here. Hang tight. For whatever reason, my cat likes to go into the closet. There's nothing for her to do there. She doesn't really play with toys a whole lot. It's just because like when I got her, she was abused and almost feral. So she didn't know how to purr, things of that nature. You know, it took a while. This was like about 7 years ago when I got her, just about 6, 7 years ago. Actually, 6 years. So she likes to sit in the closet. She doesn't do anything. She just sits there and looks around and is happy as hell. It's like, okay, no problem. You know, I leave the door open so she can walk in and out of the closet. She just loves to do it. Like, she'll just sit there and look at the door for the closet and meow. Like, can I go in here? It's like, okay. So I just open the door. She just goes walking in, sits down, has a fun old time for whatever reason. I'm not sure what she's doing, but yeah, she also doesn't like to play with toys a lot either. I can get her to play a little bit with like a shoestring, and that's just about it. She has toys, but I mean, she just doesn't like to play with stuff. It's kind of a weird cat, but over the 6 years, she's slowly becoming more and more of a cat, so that's kind of nice. Let's see. Ooh, XLF patch. I only got one last time? Jeez, that's crazy. Light off. Forgot the lights turn on by default.
CP, this is Delta 6. We got a dead friendly here. Enemy's gotta be close. Over. This is CP. Understood. That's the outlet building. Watch your corners. So your suppressor is worn out. That gun won't be as loud as any other now. If you have to shoot, be careful. Recent board to be down. Whoever's closest, go check it out. CP, this is Delta 3. We'll investigate immediately. Out. CP, this is Zulu 1. Still no hostiles around here. We're standing down. Over. This is CP. Understood. All fire teams, return to your posts. Out. Delta 3, this is CP. Give me a sit rep. Do you copy? Come in. We have a situation. All units on alert.
Hey, it's Twallace, or T-Wallace as I always call you. I understand why people are so hyped for Death Stranding. Kojima's such a hack and his stories are beyond convoluted. I know. I'm just pissed I don't have the game, really, to be honest. From what I've heard about, like, all the cutscenes and trailers and stuff, is that all happens in, like, the first hour. So he hasn't really spoiled anything, like, late game, really, so... It'll be interesting. I know it's going to be a walking simulator, but we'll do it. And this game got screwed up just because we know the history, it just wasn't finished. I always call you T. Wallace. Or T-Wall, that'll be your street name. Look out, Snake, she's got a snook in her sniz.
Mission Evo has Escape
Pops
complete.
onto the helicopter.
Turn around. Well, I can understand. At first, I was like, why did they do Keith Sutherland other than like over David Hayter? One, David Hayter and like Kojima fought like cats and dogs ever since the first one, but because the game was so popular, they had to keep bringing them back and so forth. In this game, the whole thing is that you are not boss. What they should have done was still hire on Hater for the first part, for the first level. You can explain everything else as like why the voice changes like to Keith, or like as in like vocal damage because of like what happened in the accident. That would have worked just fine. I mean, that's what I would have done, but I didn't develop the game, now did I? So, you know, you would have had things smooth over a little bit more. You could have kept it kind of secret. You could have pulled another Raiden type surprise nonsense, which I'm actually expecting to happen in like Death Stranding. Like after an hour or two, you die in like the character dies, and you come back as Raiden. I would fully expect that for Death Stranding. Oh no, Norman Reedus is dead. Now I'm Raiden for some reason.
Please select a landing zone. Landing zone confirmed.
Well, it would have made more sense what we got.
That chopper request. It's headed your way now.
Killing with a pea shooter? Okay, you're supposed to be damaged. I took you out. We're gonna still run for it. Well, in this one you don't get zebras, unfortunately. Holy crap, I can't believe I actually managed to run out all the way out here. See, like, normally in the past, like, I have taken out that APC, the armored APC, and you can just go driving right out the front gate, no one cares, and now it's like, nope, we're spawned in. Well, technically, it would be the next levels. Because, I mean, this is just, like, technically the first level of the game, just redone, just basically stripped out. Which is interesting, because it has better graphics than what we finally got with MGS5, the final version of it. I'll save you, people! Yeah, because this is the first level of the game, of course, but basically Konami had to separate out and sell it by itself to get some kind of revenue in, or they were going to go bankrupt before the game was even able to be sold. So, and then of course, and then you have like the nightmare whole situation. This is back when like the game was going to have like more of a hardcore horror like suspense element to it that just kind of fell by the wayside because the game just wasn't finished. I mean, as I've discussed before, MGS5, The Phantom Pain, is about 60% complete by my estimates, and I think most estimates as well. So I mean, it's like when you take this opening level and you learn like Skullface, like what a horrible monster he is, and then like he just turns into this laughing stock joke at the end of the rest of the game. It's just like, what happened? Then you had like the nightmare level where the hospital massacre that happens. I mean, that was supposed to be the entire tone of the game, and that went out the window as well. Which is why when I played through this last year, when I did like the full thing, I told people it's like, okay, this is like the opening part is going to be intense as hell. It's going to be like this horror movie, very violent and graphic. The rest of the game is not like this at all, and it really isn't.
Tower, this is Morpho 1. Do you copy? Can't get through. The link seems fine, but...
But yeah, like the second part of this game, like not the Ground Zeroes, but the Phantom Pain, the rest of it, is where you can collect zebras and so forth. Do all your animal hunting. Can't believe he's using a FAL. Those things are just terrible, terrible weapons. I have not met a single person who knows firearms that says, I love the FAL. It's, you know, the FAL, it's a perfect handgun, it's a perfect, like, rifle, and very dependable, and it's a pain in the butt. Like, where you go for your safety for that, they designed it for, like, where you break down, like, the muzzle. So it's like, you can, like, remove the barrel, pop the gun in half just by accident, thinking that's where your safety is, where every gun would have the safety. It's crazy. Well, Quiet at this point in time is, like, 14, 13 years old, so... 12, maybe. This is like 1975, so... Now, this would have been awesome to play through. You know, you land, and then you have to defend, you know, fight off the waves and everything else. This would have been great to play. You gotta get, like, hold out for, like, 2 or 3 minutes, make sure everybody gets on the helicopter. Nope. Yeah, the end was... Yeah, so the end had been dead for about 10 years at the point of this game, 11 years. Because you killed the end in, like, 1964? Nameless Joe! No! Snake! Snake! It's like, you're endangering our lives here, we need to take off. Olga, she's not born yet. She's in the future. That's the fun of the Metal Gear series timeline. So the timeline... Oh great, and Twitch is dropping frames. We'll wait for Twitch to stop freaking out. So, can you hear me for one? I'm not sure if you can or not, because it's dropping frames like wild. So hang tight, I'm actually going to stop streaming for a second, switch